Hello everybody and welcome to episode 20. We are today going to get all of the remaining worlds to stage 10 besides Go Rush world because we are done with Go Rush, and want to get the remaining character unlock missions available, for example for Sherry in 5D's world and other characters. So this is more of a preparation episode than it is an unlock episode. We are getting a DM world to stage 10, DSOD, GX, 5Ds, Zale, Arc 5 7s as well to stage 10. In the meantime, we also finish the unlocks for Zale and for Arc 5 world. We go for a few lifetime cards, and then we can try to get some more characters like Duel Monsters version Seto and his alternative style, but also one very important character in 5D's world is Leo, so I'm going to unlock Leo as well, and we finish this episode off by unlocking Blue Angel in Vrains' world. So we are now in GX world here. We got a DM world to stage 10, but I do not care about the unlock missions right now. I just want to stage up the remaining worlds so that I can focus on the stage missions, on the character unlock missions later. So GX world needs to go all the way to stage 10 before we go to a different world. Also, something that I somehow messed up recently was that I didn't go all the way to stage 10 in DSOD world, just to stage 9 and then left it where it was. But I'm going to fix that in this episode here when I go DSOD to stage 10. But first things first, we need to do all this tedious process of getting GX world to stage 10, and at stage 9 Alexis shows up, and Alexis is quite important for us since once we unlock her we can unlock Blair. But Alexis is not unlockable until stage 10, and previously it was stage 11 even. But stage 10 is fine, and at stage 10 we get two other characters in GX world, those of course being Jaden Bell and Supreme King Jaden. And yeah, that's right, Jaden has three different iterations here. Regular Jaden Yuki, then Supreme King Jaden, and Jaden Bell. A little overkill if you ask me, but I didn't make the game, and it's more gems basically that we can get from leveling up these characters. So now that we have 5Ds, GX at stage 10, we can go to another world, which is of course DSOD world here, that I didn't do before, and DSOD world will give us access to Aigami, but then we can swap over to 5D's world, which is what I was initially planning before I remembered that I wasn't at stage 10 in DSOD world. Silly me. And 5D's at stage 10, as I said, will give us access to Leo, and Leo is needed to unlock Aporia, but also Leo is needed for another character and for Luna as well, since Luna only shows up, so she's a hidden character, she only shows up if Leo wins a total of 10 duels, which is way more lenient than it used to be. Back in the day we had to win 100 duels with Leo, which was quite excessive. Also back then Leo was a stage 11 character, but hey. And so just winning 10 duels with Leo would be enough. And that's the reason I want to unlock Leo as soon as possible here, basically, since then I can start chipping away at that. And anytime I get a world to stage 10, I have some standard duelist spawns that I do not necessarily have to use. So I can just put their experience and their duels into a character that actually matters, for example, Leo. Or, as I mentioned in the last episode, it would be a Playmaker that needs a few levels. So then once we are at stage 10 in 5Ds, we've swapped over to Zale and get Zale to stage 10 so that we can get our final character for this world. And you all know who that is, right? I hope so. Anyways, back to 5Ds for a moment in terms of talking about it. At stage 10 we get the remaining characters like Zone, the Darksider Rex Goodwin, and so on. So that should be clear then. But that is then and now is now, and now we are going to swap to Yuma. I do not need to do this duel with Yuma, but I prefer doing it this way. So now, at stage 10 in Zelvert, Tori showed up at level 10, and the one objective we have here is, of course, that we win against her. Something we saw in the last episode when we dueled against Playmaker. So it's nice of the developers that they do not actually require us to use any gate keys, but give us a free try at Tori at level 10. And her being level 10 makes it quite easy to clear the one mission, which is just winning. So, Tori here in Zelvert is the final character that I need for this world to finish it off. And right now I finished a single world, which is, of course, Go Rush World. And this will be the second world that I actually finish in terms of unlocking characters. Which is quite nice, because that means we can focus on the other worlds then. And the other worlds also include that we go to Arc 5 world next, and Arc 5 is in a similar situation to Zale world in the sense that we actually just need to get to stage 10, then a character appears, we have to beat that character and are allowed to unlock that character that way. And therefore finish Arc 5 world in that same episode here, since we just need to get one more character, and that is quite easy to accomplish. What's not so easy is getting all of these stage missions done, because they are so long and tedious and arbitrary and everything in between. And you can believe me, it took a while to get these done in real time, like at least half an hour or so to clear these missions, or maybe an hour even, or however long it took. It was quite the time that I spent there, and it's just me getting this done for you in a shorter way, so that you are not forced to sit through this. So at stage 10, Zuzu showed up, and again, we just have to beat Zuzu at level 10 here, because, yeah, she showed up at level 10. I do not need to use Yuya for this one. I was on Selena, because I wanted to level up Selena for the summon animation of Leo Dancer, and for that I needed a few cards, and I got those cards from leveling up Selena. So I was on Selena and was too lazy to swap characters, so I decided to go for her in this instance here with Selena against Zuzu. It doesn't matter in the end, luckily, otherwise I would have spent some gate keys on her at level 10 at the gate to get this done. But it is what it is again, and Zuzu is unlocked, which means that we cleared another world just after a few more minutes, which is Arc 5 world. So Go Rush, then Arc 5 and Zale are now complete. And speaking of 7s, that was an accident, but in fact we need to go to stage 10 in 7s as well. But unlike the other worlds, in 7s we are already at stage 7, because we needed to unlock Gavin. And Gavin was a stage 7 character, so it's just one less stage up that we need to do in this particular period of the game, or of playing the game. So 7 to 10. And at stage 10 we can unlock our final character for 7th world, which is, of course, Romin. But I'm not taking care of her right now. I'll do that in a later episode, and we only have 4 episodes left, so it's in one of those. And instead I just decide to go for a few lifetime cards here. And those are Dark Magician Girl, the jump art for speed format, which is after summoning Dark Magician Girl 3 times in DM World. Hermit Soul for the Rush, which is summoning a level 6 or higher fairy in Rush Duels. Ancient Gear Golem in Rush, which is summon 10 machines in Rush Duels. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, which is after Yuma summoned 2 rank 5 or higher monsters. Shield and Sword, Rush version, if Gavin summons a level 6 or higher fairy monster. And finally Fire Princess, when we have inflicted a total of 100,000 points of effect damage. So then I swap to Yami Yugi, since the next character I want to unlock is Seto Kaiba. And why Seto Kaiba in DM World, you ask me? Well, particular reasons. We need Solomon still and Yugi. But also, once I have Seto Kaiba, I can use him, win 5 duels, and that gives me his alternative style. So I want to unlock him as soon as I can, basically, and that includes actually doing it now. So the objectives are that Yami-Yugi summons a Dark Magician. This doesn't have to be against Seto, it can be against any opponent, even a standard duelist or whatever, but I just do it here in this duel for simplicity's sake. And of course, Yami-Yugi needs to win a duel against Seto Kaiba, which is quite easy. The other 2 missions were that we collected a total of 10 cards. That's easily done, even after winning or playing duels in drop rewards in your duel assessment score screen. So collecting 10 cards is easy, and versus any opponent we activate 3 spell cards in a single duel. That one was easy as well, which will allow us to unlock DM Seto here in just a moment. And unlike most of the other characters, DM Seto only required 4 missions, not 5. But I take it, I gladly take it, and then once we swap to Seto Kaiba, we can off-screen do some duels. And also, one thing that I haven't done yet, which already annoyed the heck out of me while I was playing, was that I couldn't get this one skill from logging in for Seto Kaiba. There is another one for Yami-Yugi, but since I started with Yami-Yugi, I was able to claim that particular skill as soon as I hit stage 4. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I just got the login skill now so that I don't forget about it. Then Seto won 5 duels against standard duelists, which means I can unlock Seto's alternative style. And I appreciate this because this is the classic Seto Kaiba look. I mean, everybody thinks about the regular Seto Kaiba that we unlock here in Duel Links. Here, this coat that he's wearing for the Battle City arc, yeah, and so on. But this other design, this alternative style, that was his old design, and the one that I remember quite vividly. But you do you, and I do me, and Seto's alternative style is applied because Seto alternative style has a few style missions, like all the other alternative styles. Then we are now in 5D's world, and I show you a replay. When you say Duels Leo at level 20 at the gate, I admit that, and the one objective is that we get a quick victory. Also, there are 2 more missions that we need to accomplish, and those are that Yusei activates 3 equip spell cards in a single duel against any opponent, and that we collect 5 machine-type monsters. Those are done easily, and the one difficult mission is that we get a quick victory against Leo at level 20. And this can be a pain sometimes, but if you just try it 2 or 3 times at least, or at most, you should be fine. I should be able to do this also, while this next objective that I was off-screen with Leo winning 10 duels, while this is going on and we swap to Vrains world and do the first replay here, Playmaker versus Blue Angel at level 30, who spawned in the world, and the one objective that I want to clear is getting a comeback victory against her, which is quite easy since she works with healing her own life points and dealing effect damage to me. However, what's not so easy is that we actually need to win the duel, and she at level 30 can pack a punch, especially with all of her link monsters. But while this is going on, let me return to the Leo stuff that I just showed you for a brief moment, because somehow I managed to lose my footage on the Leo unlock. So the stuff that you saw earlier with me doing the Leo level 20 duel and claiming all of his missions and unlocking him, that one I didn't have the footage for anymore when I did this in this particular playthrough, so I had to take the footage from one of my previous playthroughs, which however doesn't change a whole lot since I was using the same strategies. And you get the point. I just wanted to show you stuff, and I'm honest enough to admit that it was footage from one of my other accounts back in the day. So this next duel is another replay against Blue Angel with Playmaker. We are dueling her at level 10 at the gate, not in the replay though, but it happened at the gate. And I have 3 more missions for her. Those are winning with 1000 or less life points remaining, performing 3 link summons in a single duel against her, and getting 4000 or more damage with a single attack in. By the way, when it comes to these high attack missions, like 3000, 4000 attack points with a single attack, this does not only refer to battle damage, but it can also be effect damage. So when you do the vessel farm and get your vessel to a high number, and its effect means it deals effect damage instead of battle damage, doesn't matter so long as it has high attack points. And yeah, then that effect damage would count as well, since vessel actually attacked and dealt damage to their life points. So that said, we can go for the third and final Blue Angel replay, which is that Playmaker wins a duel against her with Cybers type monsters only. One of the stage missions here is that we need to win 2 duels with Cybers type monsters only, and I mean, we do not need to go for those stage missions anymore, but this would be one stage mission duel that we can count towards this. Yeah. And the Cybers only stuff is not just me having a deck full of Cybers type monsters. I have other monsters as well, like Blue Flame Swordsman, but I only set those and don't summon them. I explained this before. And yeah. So that's basically a way, if you just normal summon one Cybers monster and do not summon any of the other monsters that are non-Cybers monsters, it still counts as winning with Cybers monsters only. Also, our Decode Talker is a Cybers type monster, so if we can summon that guy, we are in the clear as well. With that said, we unlocked Blue Angel, and to finish off this episode, I want to show you the 3 decks that I was using here against Blue Angel for this unlock. This first one is the main deck that I'm using, with a few helpful cards in there that helped me win the duel against her at level 30, like the Blue Flame Swordsman and Embodiment of Apophis, and also my usual extra deck with Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. That guy is an evergreen in this unlock. The second duel is, or the second deck here is showing the deck from the second replay, which was 1000 life points, 3 link summons, and 4000 attack. The 4000 attack were done with Slifer, the 1000 life points were done with hieroglyph lithographs, of course, and then we also have the link summons with these Cybers type monsters that we mostly got from leveling up Soulburner. Yeah, and then the third deck here is the Cybers only deck with a bunch of Cybers type monsters that I was using, and Cybers monsters that you can get for free by just leveling up Soulburner and Playmaker. Those include Dotscaper and Cybers Wizard, for example. So yeah, stuff you can get, and you do not need to put any other stuff in there. I have a few other monsters that help me defend myself without actually summoning them in a classical sense. So yeah, I already talked about this, and that's it. So thank you so much for watching.